Be the new tutorial for my 16 terabyte Xbox 360 library setup. So this includes every single Xbox 360 game, Xbox Live Arcade, Xbox Live or Kinect, and Xbox Live Indie game if you add that on along with OG Xbox games. All right, so let's go through the Aurora setup and what we can do and sort of explaining all the features. So as you might notice, when you start up the console, you'll see that it only shows that there's 1,200 games installed when there's really a bunch more. So right now it's only showing you the Xbox 360 games, right? Now if I use the left and right bumpers on the controller, you can scroll through a menu that lets you filter out to all these other games and categories. So if I only want Xbox Live Arcade, I can go there and press A, give it about a second or two. You know, it does have to load the games. It takes a second. And all the Xbox Live Arcade games will show up. So here they all are. Now, if you want to change that when you get it, and you maybe want to have it set to show all the games, like, all right, I pressed A on show all, right? Like, if you want to see all the games, whatever, you know what I mean. All right, so how to change it, you'll press B, and this is your view menu. So this is kind of like everything that you sort of see in Aurora. So if we go to quick view, you'll notice that these are all the categories that were in that left and right bumper menu. So you can hit modify list, and you can set any of these as the default with A. So when Aurora starts up, I have it set to the Xbox 360 tab because I generally like it only to see the Xbox 360 games because that's what I'm going to be playing the most. All right. So like, look, this is where the show all, there's 2,900, and these are without the Xbox Live Indie game. I'll get to that later. So if I go back to the view menu, there's so the quick view is like that. These are all the filters. You can go to theme, and if you want, you can change the cover layout. So maybe you want bookshelf, and you can see how back here it sort of looks different. I don't really like that. I think it looks crowded, a lot of it. And you'll notice that some of the games right now don't have cover art, and that's just because they load in when you keep scrolling. As you see, as I keep loading in, it shows all the other cover arts. I'll change it back to the standard. Sweet. Let's see. All right, so searching. I'm going to go back to... Actually, I'll keep it at show all, whatever. So if you hit X, this is the browse menu. This is basically a list formation of all the games that you have filtered. So currently we're on the show all filter, so we'll show every single game. Now, if you don't want to scroll, say you're trying to get to something like G, you don't have to press and hold the right trigger and let it go and go and go and go. What you can do is you can hit X to browse and X again to search. And let's say I want Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto. I can hit done by pressing start, and I can hit B, and you're gonna have to give it a second. It is right now, it's filtering for all the Grand Theft Auto games or anything. Right, there we go. So here they all are. We have the show all filter, so it's showing us every single one. And yeah, I mean, it's every single Grand Theft Auto that's on the console. And then if you want to get out of the browse, you can press X, or if you want to like go back to seeing all the games, you'll notice here that browse now has this X filled in. If I press it again, you know, now it's filtering all the Grand Theft Autos, and I can hit press X again to clear. And if I press B, it'll take another second or two for all the games to load, but it will put me where the G's are. So give it a second. We're on the show off filter, and there we go. Grand Theft Auto, here they are. So yeah, that's sort of the browse. Now, you might see that some games don't have cover art, and that is because either... Sometimes Aurora can be finicky when trying to download cover art. And that's, so if you press start, you'll see the asset tab. You hit download under download assets. You know, you can select what you want. And I've done that, but sometimes Aurora may miss a few. It's just, I mean, there's so many games here. There can be some issues. So if you press Y on a game, you can get to the game menu, and you can go, you know, down here and scroll left and right to download cover. But see, this one, it didn't even have a cover. So it's not even in the database of games with cover art, so there's nothing you can really do about it. All right, let's go and explain. Let's do like the cover menu. So like that's like the menu of each individual game. I brought it back to the Xbox games. Let's go to whatever. Let's do Batman here. I'll explain. Hold on. Batman. Give it a second. Sorry. All right, sweet. Let's do Batman Arkham Origins. All right, so if I want to, all right, here we go. This is the kind of like I call this a cover menu. Now let's go through each individual one. You can favorite the game by pressing A on the favorite, and it's got a special border around it. You can sort of see it's gold. And in your filter options, there's a way to set it up where you see your favorite games first, and then you can have them in alphabetical order if that's something you're interested in. So that's that tab. If you go to play or launch, you can play the game. I'll get to trainers later. We'll get back to that. This is the title updates. So this is like a very important part of every single game. A title update is basically like a game update, right? And you can see if I press A on the title update icon, then press right bumper, you can see there's versions 1 through 4. Now, here's the thing. You're not getting these updates from the Xbox Live server. You're getting them from the Unity Marketplace. Now, this is like a community database with it tries to have every single update. But some of these are broken, and some of them actually don't cause the game to work, and they may cause the game to glitch and not, it might just crash, right? So my preferred way of downloading and installing title updates is doing it through Xbox Live. Now, to do that, what you need to have an Xbox Live account already installed or like signed into. So I'll sign out of it. So this is just for testing purposes. I will delete this when you get the console. But if I hit sign in, and you can see it says Xbox Live here. Now, that doesn't mean I'm paying for Xbox Live Gold or anything. You don't need to pay for any of the online features. All you need to do is sign in with your Microsoft account, and it'll give you an Xbox Live account, basically. It's the same thing. So I'll press A, and I'll sign in, and this is so we can get all the the title updates from the games. All right, sweet. I'm signed in. Sorry, I pressed back there. I guess let's do Assassin's Creed. All right, Assassin's Creed. And if you see disc games like this where there's the same cover, you'll see in the bottom right, these are multi-disc games. Always just select the first one of the bunch. That's how they work. You don't have to worry about the second one. That's just a little side note. All right, so let's say I want to get the Assassin's Creed 3 latest title update. Instead of doing it through Unity, all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit launch on the game when I'm signed into my Xbox Live profile. You have to give it a second. It'll configure with this plugin. It's because it's a multi-disc game. It has to set the paths for each disc. Just give it a second. Sweet. The game will start up. I'm going to have to sign back in. Oh, sweet. Update required. And that's what you're going to do. And you're going to hit download now, but make sure you do it on the XL 14 terabyte. Do not do it on the USB storage. We're just going to make sure it's on there. And we'll hit download now. Watch this. It will download the update. I mean, this is perfect. You don't really have to worry about anything. Like, it's very intuitive. It's straight from Microsoft servers, and you get the latest and most stable update. Like, this will let all the DLC work, because usually DLC requires an update. And now Assassin's Creed is on its latest title update. Now, I'm going to go back to the home, and I'm going to let this load, and we'll talk about trainers, and those are basically like mod menus or cheats that there's like, I don't know, like 800 or 900 of them for all these games, and we will talk about that after. So I'm gonna let this load, and I'll see you in a second. We're back. Let's go back to Assassin's Creed 3, and if we're talking about trainers, the trainer like settings panel is if you go to the play icon up here, you can go to the left, and you'll see it says trainer down here, and you hit A. You'll see some games do have a trainer, but if we look up here, it says that none of them are compatible, and that's because of the title update we're on. And this brings in the Unity Marketplace a little bit. That's why we would actually want to use it. So if I press Y, it says the only compatible title updates are 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4. Now, you aren't really able to tell what title update you have if you download it through the Xbox Live store, or if you get the update through Xbox Live. So say I want to actually use this cheat, right? What I'll have to do is I'll have to get one of these title updates. Always do the latest one, so 8. So if I go back, and we'll go to the title updates, press A and right bumper. I know that there's 2 8s for this one, but I'm just going to hit the first one. You'll see it says queued, and it will start to load. Now, just wait. We'll speed this up. Alright, so it's done. It says installed. What you'll want to go is you'll hit the left bumper and you'll see it here. And to actually use it, you have to hit A to enable it. So if you look down here, it'll say enable and you press it and now it's enabled. You also see this icon change. Alright, I'll press B. I'll go back to the trainer and now you see it says 1 compatible. I can press Y, view the details again. And if you press A in this menu, you can kind of see these are the cheats that the trainer has. Go back and back, and all you'll do is, instead of launching the game normally by pressing launch, you'll press left, go to the trainer menu, hit A, and press A. And now we're launching the game with the trainer. And I'll show you how to actually use it once we launch into the game. You'll want to press start and select on the controller at the same time, and it will bring up a menu. But you'll almost... Oh, fatal crash. I wonder why that happened. There's actually a fatal crash that happened, and that's just kind of a general crash error. And I think it's because of the first version 8 update that caused the game to crash. And that's what I sort of mean with these updates is usually you won't have two that show the same version. But I downloaded the second one, and it's enabled right now, so let's try it. So I'm going to go back to play. I'm going to go to trainer. I'm going to select the trainer, and I'm going to hit launch with A on the trainer. And let's hope this works. And if you were to disable all the plugins in Unity, it would just or in Aurora, it would default to the one you downloaded from Xbox Live. And that seemed to be the issue there. It was definitely that one title update that was causing the game not to work. So we'll see a pop-up show up pretty soon about, there it is, here it is, this is the trainer, and the activate buttons are starting back, so if I press OK. Now, well, 1 second. Sign in first. Alright, I'll speed this up. Now we're going to select our save, where we want our saves to go. I'm going to always do the XL hard drive. Sweet. Let's just do a stop down Ubisoft server. We get it, come on. Alright, so here we go. I can start and press start and select at the same time, and you'll get a text menu with numbers. And so 1, if I press 1, it would be infinite ammo. 2 would be God, and 3 would be cache mod. Enable all, disable all. Very simple. So if I want God mode, I just press 2 and hit done if I were in game, and I'd be invincible. And there it goes. God mode cheat has been activated. And if you want to deactivate it, start and select again. Comes up, and disable all. 999. Or I think if you just want to disable infinite ammo, or sorry, to God mode, you press 2 again, and I think it disables it. Yeah, it deactivated it. Sweet. So that's how trainers work. Very simple. There's almost a trainer for every single Xbox 360 game. I think there's around 700 or 800. So, and when you have stuff, when you have to have a specific title update, you have to go through Aurora and do it. Unfortunately, with the trainers, you have to do it through Aurora, but generally, just do the regular title update through Xbox Live. Like you saw how I had that problem, there were 2 version 8s, and and one of them didn't work, so I tried the other, and it ended up working. It is kind of a bummer. It's not as clear, but that's the way it works. If you want to hit a trainer, you go to the trainer menu, see if it's compatible. If it's not compatible, download the right update, and then enable it, and then hit play with the trainer. Very simple, and that's how it sort of goes. All right, now let's talk about the boot up sequence and how Xbox Live indie games work. All right, so this new setup is like a lot better. So we have this setup. The buyer wanted Xbox Live indie games as well as all the other regular Xbox 360 games. Now, the problem with that is it can take a really long time to index all, it's like, I don't know, it's like almost 6,000 games with the Xbox Live indie games plus all the others. And it just takes a really long time for Aurora to come up. So right now, this is Aurora booting up and it's indexing all the games. It would take maybe 5 to 6 minutes if you had all those games installed on the hard drive. And that, it just is so, it gets very annoying because even when you exit out of a game, you have to wait for this. So the idea I had was to put all the Xbox Live indie games on an external SSD plugged in through USB. So it is connected through USB right now. And I'll show you the first app that you see right here is Xbox Live indie games, right? Now, where this points to is it points to that USB hard drive or SSD, and that on its own has an Aurora installation with all the Xbox Live indie games. So if I click it, I can click it here. Wait, here. It'll load, give it a second, and you'll see another Aurora loading screen. And here we are. And eventually this will lead us to the Xbox Live indie games, and you'll see all those games. So this makes it so the startup is much faster. So it's about 2 minutes for the Xbox 360 side and about 2.5 minutes for the Xbox Live indie game side. So you don't have to wait as long, and they're separate, so you don't have to see all the like 3,000 Xbox Live indie games, because it's kind of like a bunch of crappy games, but it's fun to have them as like for archival purposes. So I guess we'll wait here. I'll speed this up and I'll show you how to use Xbox Live indie games. All right, here we are. As you see, a lot of them don't have cover art because these are some kind of obscure games, but most of them do. Here they all are. Now, I'll just go to a random game. I don't know. A frog game. That's perfect. There will not be any trainers for these games, any DLC. It's just the game. So I'll right now, okay, whatever. A frog game. Let's go. You'll always see this screen. This is kind of like every single game has a screen built in. You'll see this for like 5-10 seconds, and then the game will load. Here it is. I can start. I can sign in. It's whatever, all right? So say I want to go, like I played my game, but now I want to go back to the Xbox Live indie games. Instead of hitting the Xbox button and then hitting Y for Xbox Home, because whenever you do this, this would take me back to, the actual regular Aurora installation with all the Xbox 360 games. So what you do is you can do this anywhere on the console. It doesn't matter where you are. So if you don't even have to click on the Xbox Live indie game, like game in the Xbox 360 Aurora to get in to the Xbox Live indie game Aurora. All you have to do is you can press left bumper. You press and hold left bumper and then press Y. You can go up and hit yes. And I'm holding left bumper right now on the controller. And what this will do is it will boot me right to the, right now it's booting from the Xbox Live indie game on the USB. So you hold the left bumper and press Y to go home, and it brings you to the Xbox Live indie games. I'll speed this up so we can see what it actually looks like, me showing you like the actual games. So hold on. And as you see, here we are. It shows all the Xbox Live indie games. So that's pretty cool. It's an easy way to get through, so you don't have to go through all the menus again to come back to this menu. It's very intuitive. So I guess I'll go back to the regular Xbox 360 games. You press Y and don't hold anything, and then it'll take me back to the actual Xbox games. All right. Right now, let's talk about Tethered. All right. Tethered is the stealth server that comes with this console. As you'll see, it's got the blue tint and everything. If I press the guide button, which is the Xbox button on the controller, you'll see this menu. I can scroll to the right, and you'll see Tethered Menu. I can press A, and here it is. I can show you this is everything here. A lot of this stuff does require the paid version of this stealth server, but it does its job. It lets you go online, and it has mod menus built in, and that's why I love it so much. So I can go to Quick Launch and Menu Library, and these are like all your Call of Duty mod menus. So I have other videos on my channel that explain how these work, but you'll be in a Call of Duty game, and if I want a Black Ops 2 mod menu, I go here and I click any of these. And this, like BO2 Engine's my favorite, and that's got aimbot, wall hacks, stuff like that. And that's kind of the way of Tethered and how to load mod menus. There's a video on my channel that actually explains it. So yeah, I think the last thing I want to talk about here is the OG Xbox games. Yes, let's talk about it. All right, we're back. Now let's explain OG Xbox games. So I'll hit the right bumper and go to Xbox Classic and press A. We will wait. Now, with the Xbox 360 or OG Xbox games, now Microsoft had a whitelist compatibility for only a select amount of the original Xbox games. Now, they did that because not every single OG Xbox game works. Some of them work perfect. Some of them sort of work with one minor hitch here. But there were, I can't, there's a list online. I'll put it in the description of the compatibility list. And my consoles come with it's like a hacked backwards compatibility, which lets any game run. So every single OG Xbox game is here, but not all of them will actually work. And that's just because, it's not an official way to run these games. It's sort of this hacked way. But some, you get full access to them, and so some do work. And that's kind of the nice thing. Now, as you'll see, some of these, not every single one of these has the cover art. Some of them might, if you go here and check, but a lot of them they're not in the system. Now, you can't just run these like normal. You have to do something different. So if I were to try and run any of these games, it will crash. And that's because you'll see here that Tethered is loaded. Tethered cannot be loaded when you want to play these games. And that's just any stealth server will have that limitation. It's because it blocks something specific that needs these games to run. So you have to disable the stealth server. And the best, I'll show you right now, if I try and run any of these games, you'll be stuck on this menu or it will crash like this. Now, what you do is you'll turn off your console. You'll wait for it to turn off. And when you turn on the console, you will immediately press the eject button. Alright, so I'm going to press the power button and then the eject button. Disk drive comes out and you just kind of leave it and it will boot up. Disk drive will go back in, and what this does is it launches the Xbox without any plugins enabled, meaning Tethered will not be loaded. Now, you might be kind of worried here because, you need a stealth server to go online, right? Well, when you do this with the console, what happens is it automatically enables it will block any Xbox Live interaction. So you won't be able to connect to any Xbox Live, meaning your console will not get banned. It won't even allow itself to connect to the Xbox Live servers. So we'll wait for this to come up, and I'll show you that the Xbox games do work. All right, we are back, and we will filter to the Xbox games, and you'll see if I press the guide button that Tethered is not loaded here. So there's nothing here that would prevent us from launching these games. So we can go to Xbox Classic. Does take a second to load. All right, we're here. Look at that. And let's click on the game that I know will actually work, like Halo. So if I go browse and search Halo, let it go, give it a second. Come on. Awesome. So Halo, I gotta fix that. Let's launch Halo. You'll see. It'll flash, and bang, we're in OG Xbox game. Look at that. And we have access to the guide menu here. You can sort of see everything. And yeah, Halo. Halo works. All right, let me see my list. I don't think there's anything else here. We did everything that I wanted to do. So if we want kind of just like a basic understanding of everything, Aurora, you can do all your sorting and filtering. You can favorite games. You can also change the cover layout, and you can choose with the left and right bumpers what games you want to see. If we go to the cover menus, you got your title updates. We went through that. We went through the difference between an Aurora title update and the actual Xbox Live update. We walked through trainers and showing how to launch trainers and using the correct title update if it's required. We went through all the OG Xbox stuff, all the loading. You have to do the eject trick to load the OG Xbox games. Tethered, we went through all that. And Xbox Live Indie Game, we all went through that. Now, I just want to say thank you. This setup took a really, really, really long time. I do sell these. My Discord and my eBay is in the description. Please check that out if you're interested. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'm always here to answer questions. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and I hope you learned something. See you all in the next video. Bye.